This video is going to talk about importing a product catalog or a price list from a B2B vendor. Previous to this video, you should have already contacted a vendor, gotten the setup information for your account, and put it into QFloors. There's a video about doing that. Once you've done that, you have to make sure that you have also put manufacturers into your product catalog. So when we talk about a product catalog, you should have manufacturers here. There are other videos that talk about doing that. The one other thing that you should be aware of is this square yard default. If you're soft surface, you are selling in square yards, this should be checked. If you are doing soft surface and roll goods in square feet, it should be unchecked. The next step is to click on the B2B button down on the bottom left hand side of the screen. When you do that, it will ask you the sites that you want to contact. I strongly recommend that you only contact one site at a time, not all sites. So we are going to select Shaw in this video. We will click OK. And QFloors has actually gone out and contacted the Shaw server and asked them if they have any updates for us. And you can see right here that it says that we have two updates, product definitions and pricing, which are the ones that we are interested in. Make sure that when you're doing this that none of the other boxes are checked. You could see numbers next to these other ones, meaning that there are vendor bills waiting to be downloaded and POs. Make sure that the boxes are not checked. So I have the checked for the two here. Okay. Now it's showing me that it's downloaded one of those files from the Shaw server. It's file AA.32 is the name of it. In that file there are 86 styles and 1800 colors. The first thing I need to do is select a manufacturer. I have already set up Shaw to be a manufacturer, and so I'm going to click on that. You should be aware that for national accounts like Shaw, Mohawk, Engineered, Dow Tile, Emser Tile, those kinds of companies that are national companies, manufacturers, you should select the name that you are going to import into. Other companies like distributors that are selling other people's products and may have 40 or 50 different manufacturers that they are representing, you will not do that for them in most cases. In most cases, you would leave all manufacturers, new manufacturers. And what will happen is when you do the import, it will create each of those manufacturers for you in the QFloors catalog, okay? But in this instance, we want to select Shaw because it's a national vendor. So that's step number one. I hit my Start Wizard button right here, and it's going to ask me if I want to match on color SKU. You should always press here, yes here, in like 90% of the cases. Now you can see that it comes up and says, I want to finalize the matches. Down here in this white box, there is nothing listed, which means it did not find a match, which is right because I just barely created my Shaw manufacturer that is currently empty and has no products in it. And so when I want to do finalize matches, I can press OK or cancel here. It doesn't really matter, right? Because nothing will be updated because nothing is in the white box. So then it comes up with a new window here saying import unmatched products. Okay, and it says there are 86 styles and 1800 colors that are left to be imported. Do I want to import those? Yes, I do. Okay, so now it goes through and it loads all of those products down here in this bottom box. You can see up here that it changed the unmatched to selected 86 and 1842, which means it will import all of those. Now, this box right here, let's talk about this real quick. First of all, each of these fields right here, the ones that are checked are the ones that are going to be updated. And since these products have never been put into QFloors before, by default, all of the fields will be updated because it is brand new. If you are matching and just doing an update, which we will show you here in a second, by selecting these boxes, you are selecting which fields should be updated with the new information. By default, QFloors will select square yards or square feet, depending on what was selected on the checkbox on our product catalog. And everything else, for right now, just leave it the same. Do not change any of these fields. We're going to push OK here. This box is asking to save a file. The file that it will be saved is a file describing all of the updates that will be made at this time. So if you ever want to go back and see what updates were made at a particular point in time, there will be a file that will point out all of those updates. I push save, and then it starts to put in all of those products into my QFloors product catalog. Okay. At this point, it's going to ask, should I discard the file? They are asking if you want to get rid of the file on the Shaw server. By clicking yes means that it will not ask you in the future to download that file anymore. If you click no here, when you come back into the download the second time, it will repeat asking you if you want to use that same file. So in most cases, you are going to click yes. The only time you would click no is if something messed up and you want to keep the file out there to redo it again, then you can click no here. Okay, so I'm going to click yes. Okay, discard the file, yes. Now it is downloading the second file for us, which is AA2. Okay, in this case, it has the same number of styles and colors because I just used an exact copy of the first one. Most of the time, the styles and the colors will be different from the first file that you've imported if there is a second file. In this time, we want to go ahead and select Shaw again, okay, because it's a Shaw file. I want to hit my Start Wizard again, and I want to click yes on Match SKU, okay. Now, this time it's different because you can see that it's actually putting stuff down here in the bottom where the first time it didn't. What that means is that QFloors found matches, okay, to the previous items that were already put in the QFloors catalog. And now it's asking if you want to update those. So now these checkboxes become relevant. And it's by default, it doesn't do product type. And let's say that you wanted to update the cut price but not the roll price, you would simply uncheck the box. Style and color name are always not checked by default, because sometimes people will go in and modify the style and color name after they do the import because they don't like the name that the manufacturer gave it, and it makes it hard to find sometimes. So we do not by default update those names. But if you wanted to update the name and the color name on these products, then you would simply click those boxes. These other things you're going to leave where they are by default. Again, soft surfaces, square yards. I am just going to click OK here, push save, and it's going to go through, and now it is updating each of those items in my catalog. Okay, you can see here now it's gone through everything. Nothing was left over because it matched exactly all the styles and colors, and so there is nothing left to import. If it only matched part of the styles and colors and there were other styles and colors left to be imported, it would go through the import process that it took me the very first time. I'm going to hit discard file, yes, and this now is going to show me that my downloads are complete. I had 2 files, I processed both files, I am all done. I push OK, and now if I come up to my Shaw under my product catalog and come over to my Shaw, you can see that it's imported all of these styles and colors that go along with the styles. And that is how you do a product catalog or a price list import for B2B.